This is Rome, a city that once held the fate of the entire known world in its hands. At its peak, 1 in 4 human beings alive on Earth lived under Roman rule. Rome built roads, aqueducts, and laws that still shape civilization today. Every mosaic, every inscription, every stone tells the story of the greatest empire ever built. Rome's reach stretched from the cold hills of Scotland to the deserts of Arabia. The roads they paved 2,000 years ago are still visible beneath our modern highways. SPQR, the Senate and the people of Rome. A motto, a promise, a civilization. It all began here, beside this river, the Tiber. Around 1000 BC, Latin tribes settled its banks. These early Romans were farmers and shepherds. No marble temples, no legions, just survival. Legend says twin brothers Romulus and Remus were raised by a wolf and founded Rome in 753 BC. The real story is simpler and just as remarkable. A hilltop village slowly became a city. For over 2 centuries, Rome was ruled by kings, some wise, some brutal, all powerful. In 509 BC, the Romans had enough. They expelled their king and invented something radical, a republic. No more kings. Instead, 2 consuls elected each year. Power shared, power checked, power limited. Every Roman citizen had a vote. Every decision required consent. It was revolutionary. Rome's citizen soldiers were its backbone, men who farmed in peacetime and fought in war. In 449 BC, Rome did something no civilization had done before. It wrote its laws down for all to see. The 12 Tables, carved in bronze, the foundation of Western law for 2,000 years. War by war, Rome expanded, absorbing neighboring tribes, learning from every enemy it defeated. By 265 BC, Rome controlled the entire Italian peninsula, and it was just getting started. The Roman Republic was messy, loud, and political. That was exactly the point. From a single dot on the Tiber, an entire civilization was about to ignite. Rome's next enemy was its greatest yet, Carthage, the superpower of the Mediterranean Sea. 3 brutal wars, decades of bloodshed, and then came the moment no one expected. Hannibal Barca crossed the Alps with war elephants. He brought the war directly to Italy. At Cannae in 216 BC, Hannibal surrounded a Roman army of 80,000 men and nearly destroyed it. Rome refused to surrender. It rebuilt. It adapted. And in 146 BC, Carthage burned to the ground. Rome was now master of the Mediterranean. But victory brought a new and dangerous enemy, wealth. As the rich grew richer, the poor grew angrier. The Republic began to tear itself apart. Into this chaos stepped Julius Caesar, general, politician, and the most ambitious man in Rome. Caesar spent 8 years conquering Gaul, modern-day France, writing about every battle himself. In 49 BC, ordered to surrender his army, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River and started a civil war. He won. He became dictator, and his enemies in the Senate decided Rome needed to be saved from him. On the Ides of March, 44 BC, 23 senators stabbed Julius Caesar to death on the Senate floor. His murder did not save the Republic. It destroyed it. Civil war consumed Rome for 13 more years. Caesar's adopted son Octavian emerged victorious. The Senate gave him a new name, Augustus. Augustus called himself first citizen, but he was, in truth, Rome's first emperor.
Is becoming a city of marble.
What followed was the Pax Romana, 200 years of relative peace, the empire's golden age. Roman engineers built aqueducts that carried fresh water to cities across 3 continents. They built 85,000 kilometers of roads, straight, paved, and engineered to last centuries. The Pantheon, built in 125 AD, still stands today. Its dome the largest unreinforced concrete dome on Earth. Romans entertained themselves on a grand scale. Gladiatorial games, watched by 50,000 spectators. Roman society ran on slavery. Up to 1/3 of the population were enslaved human beings. The wealthy dined on exotic foods from across the empire, while millions struggled to survive. The wealthy dined on exotic foods from across the empire, while millions struggled to survive. From Scotland to Iraq, from the Rhine to the Sahara, one empire, one law, one currency. Marcus Aurelius, soldier and philosopher, wrote his private thoughts in a journal we still read today. For 2 centuries, a Roman citizen could travel from Britain to Syria and never leave Roman law. Then slowly, everything began to crack. In the crisis of the 3rd century, Rome had 50 different emperors in just 50 years. Plague swept through the empire, killing millions. The economy collapsed. Borders broke down. Germanic tribes began breaching Roman frontiers that had held for 200 years. Emperor Diocletian made a desperate decision. He split the empire into east and west to save it. Emperor Constantine saw a vision before battle and converted. In 313 AD, Christianity became legal. The faith that had been persecuted under Roman law now became Rome's official religion. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. A Visigoth army under Alaric marched on Rome itself. For the first time in 800 years, Rome was sacked by a foreign enemy. For the first time in 800 years, Rome was sacked by a foreign enemy. Saint Jerome wrote, "The city which had taken the whole world was itself taken." By 476 AD, the Western Empire had a final emperor, a teenage boy named Romulus Augustulus. A Germanic chieftain named Odoacer deposed him politely and sent him to a villa in the countryside. The Western Roman Empire ended not with a great battle, but with a quiet administrative letter. But in the east, Rome did not fall. Constantinople survived as the Byzantine Empire for 1,000 more years. So did Rome truly fall? Walk through these ruins and decide for yourself. The United States Capitol, the Supreme Court, every courthouse in the Western world, built in Rome's image. Innocent until proven guilty. The right to face your accuser. These are Roman legal principles. The road beneath that modern highway, it follows the exact route Roman engineers surveyed 2,000 years ago. The Catholic Church organized itself using Rome's administrative structure: provinces, bishops, hierarchy. Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, 5 modern languages, all descended from Latin. July is named for Julius Caesar, August for Augustus. You speak Roman names every single day. Rome never really died. It dissolved into everything that came after it. From a village on the Tiber to an empire covering the known world, in just 5 centuries. It lasted 500 years as a republic and 500 more as an empire. Nothing matched it. Every time you read a sentence, walk under an arch, or trust a law, Rome is still there. The Eternal City. 2,000 years later, it still refuses to be forgotten.